Hi friends, welcome back. In this clip, I'm going to show you how to code infinite scroll pagination with Remix and Laravel. As you can see, I already have my Remix installed and also my Laravel, as you can see here. So we are not going to code everything from scratch or from beginning. So we are going to make use of code written by vets who code and try to refactor it and add some parts and remove some parts also. So you can actually go through his write up here. So I'm going to leave the link down below so that you can actually have access to the article or the write up, so you can go through his explanation here. So this is the result, and also the article also is being appreciated by one of the creators of Remix, Rian Florence. So he actually commented and they said, "This is awesome, nice work. Use special is a big deal." So you can go through them, and also we have access to his GitHub gist. So you can actually copy the code. So this is the full code now. So we are not going to revamp the way we are going to make use of this code being created by vets who code. So let's start by extracting the parts that we actually need. Of course, we are going to be needing majority of them, but let's start first and by making use of a JSON placeholder for us to see, and then later we now transition to Laravel. So the first thing I'm going to do here, I'm going to copy this part, the first part. So I will copy it and come to VS Code. Let me close this. All right. So we are going to be making use of the index route. So we have this, and then the next thing we are going to do now, we want to remove this part. It doesn't belong here. And then let's have a art. So we have a remix run here. All right, you can see the error is gone. Then secondly, we have a import type. That's the part we removed. Then actually put it here from at remix node. All right. So let me go back to the browser once again, and then this aspect, let's leave it, and then let's copy this photo hash now, and let me also paste this. Of course, we expect to see this error. So first thing I'm going to do now, inside our app folder, I will create utils folder. I just click on, sorry, let me click on folder. All right, and have a utils. uh, Let me delete this first. Already created it. So let me have this. Okay, this. All right. So inside it, we're going to have a types.tsx. Just have a tx. All right. And inside it, so let me just copy this, and then let me remove this API folder. And here now, I can now say export type and photo hash. Right, you can see the error is gone now. So let me remove what we have inside the UI part here. So I've removed that. All right. So the next thing I'm gonna do now, let me copy this also and paste it here. So again, let me go back here. Come back to his GitHub gist, and I also grab this aspect. the loader. So we we have it here. Of course, let me paste it here. All right, and let me comment out this. So the next thing I'm gonna do now, I'm going to create a new tab and go to JSON placeholder first, and then let me see JSON placeholder. So this comment here, so you can see we have a post ID, then we have a ID name, email, and body. So let me grab this ID. Okay, let me come here, ID. So the type, let's say number, then we have a name, so the type string, then have a email and a body, email and body. All right, so we have that ready now. So now I will now create a variable. I will declare a variable called resp, then equal await, and then we have a inside our loader we have a fetch, and have a disable there. So let me go back to the JSON placeholder, get the URL, and here we have a var and page. All right. So here now, instead of photo, we have a JSON. All right. So let's go back again, once again, and have a this aspect, the code inside the photos route. So we want to grab everything here. So before the return there, so grab it, and then I will come back and paste everything here. So instead of these last photos, we should have removed it because we are not having this route. So I will remove it, and also let me go back once again, and the aspect, the JSX. So let me grab what we have here. Sorry. All right. So let me paste everything here. And instead of this, we should, okay, let me, this is an image. But this is an image element here. So let me remove this. Since we are not dealing with image. So instead of this PID, I will have a ID. And also, let me have a div here. So let me just have a paragraph. And, let me have a photo. But let's have a ID first. Then have a name and email and ID. Email and body rather. We have the body there. So let's try to run the code now. So let me go to the terminal, create a new terminal, and let me have a npm on f. Let's try to run everything and see if everything is going to work fine. So I'll go to the browser. So let's make use of this. Let me have a local host 3000. So as you can see here, now we have our browser loaded with some results response now. So if I should just scroll, you can see we have 8, we have 18, we have a 20 to 24, okay, 26, 30, then we should have up to 35, 37, 40. You can see. So it's working now. So that's it with the JSON placeholder. So now the next thing we want to do now is how to use Remix Infinix scroll pagination with Laravel API. So let's try to work on that now. So that's the next thing we are going to work on. So, all right. First thing I want to do now, let me create a new route. Let me just call it, okay, let me create a new folder called scroll. Then inside it, let me just create a new file called laravel.tsx now. All right. So having created that, what we have here, let me just grab everything and paste it here. Let me try to remove this index to, let me have it as Laravel. This is the Laravel routes now. So we are still going to make use of same functionalities we have here. All right. Now the next thing we are going to do, let's go to the Laravel folder now. So we have a blog here and a blog project. So let me come to the command prompt here and have a cd and cd and have a cd work page. Then we have a cd work space. Then we have a blog, then followed by blog project. So if I say PHP artisan self, so let's see our Laravel. So let me go to the browser and have this open now. Say Laravel, sorry, localhost. Instead of 3000, we have 8000 here. You can see. So this is our Laravel now. So the next thing we need to do now, let me just say Control C and have a create a what is called model. So I will say PHP partition make model. And what is the model name? Let's call it scroll. So if I create it, I have a model created successfully. So let's go to our folder and go to app, then model. You can see scroll model is already created now. So let me try to open it in code lobster. So as that is opening, let us create our controller. So once again, I'll say PHP make run, then controller, then I will call it scroll controller, then controller created successfully. All right, I think those are the two things we need now. So let me try to close this. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do now, let me try to start XAMPP. So inside the model, I will say protected dollar table for this. So I will have to terminate it. So let me check if our XAMPP is up and on. Yes. So I can now start the XAMPP now, and I want to go to PHP my admin to have access to the database so that we can see the table we want to use now. All right. So the table is ready now. So let me just come here. All right, you can see. So the table we actually want to make use of is called let's see, service something. Let me go to it again. Okay, still have more. So this is the table now. All right, so you can see the table that we are going to be making use of here now. So let's go back to VS Code. So let me grab the table. Sorry, forgot to grab the table earlier on. So the table name. All right. So I paste it here. So after pasting it, the next thing we need to do now is to go back and open controller. So let me come here once again and go to controller. So we have a scroll controller here, the one we created earlier on. As you can see, we created it earlier on. So this is the controller now. So we can start making use of the controller. So I can now have a function here, say function, then I can call it index, for instance, and I have a, let me just have a dollar table here. Let's say the table name is actually dynamic. So the next thing for me to do is to declare a variable called dollar scroll. or ep colon. Then we have a table, we have a dollar table. Then pointer, we have a paginate, and we have, let's just put 5. So we can now return dollar scroll beneath it. So let me try to import the package here. Say illuminate support. Sorry. Then package. So that's that. So that is all we need to do. So the next thing we need to do now is to go to the web file inside the root, so as to make it available to the view. So let's do that now. So let me go to the folder now and have the web. So I will first go to the routes, then web. Let me just have it opened. Okay. All right. So we have the web open now. So I will just try to create new route. Say route colon get. Then have this forward slash followed by curly braces. Let me terminate this so that we won't run to error later. Then you can just call this, since this is dynamic, we expect it to be dynamic because in our controller we have this table as being dynamic. So let's just put table here. It can be anything. Then followed by an array. Then the name of our controller. We have a scroll controller here, and we have colon class. Then followed by the name of our function, and we call it index. So inside the string we have a index here. So I think that is pretty much what we need to do. So let's try to see if this is gonna bring some results. So let's go and get the name of that database name first. I mean the table name. We have it here. So let's copy this and try to run it. So let's have a forward slash on it, since we're having an error there. So it seems we haven't imported it. We have imported our controller. So let's have a use. We have a app. Of course, this will be in capital letter app. We have a HTTP. Then we have a controllers. Then the name of our controller. We have a scroll controller. So let's submit it. Run it again. Still not working. Alright, I think we've not started our Laravel, so we have to say PHP addition self. Alright, so we can now start it once again. Okay, you can see. So this is what is being returned by Laravel. So you can see the JSON that is being returned by Laravel here. So we have up to like 5 pages according to the result we have from Laravel. So I think that's great. So what we need to do now, we are going to see if this is going to work. Okay, right. So we have this now. So if I should say 1, for instance, it start from 1. If I should say 2, are returning 5, we start from 6. So if I should say 3, for instance, you can see start from 11. So if I should go back to VS Code, for instance, inside our controller we have 5. That is, we should have a 5 per page. So now let's say I want to increase it to 10, for instance. If I should go back to the browser and try to reload it, we have a, okay, let me start from 1 once again. You can see we have 1, 2, 10. You can see here now 10 before we have a other aspect being returned by Laravel. Then if I should have a 2, the second page here, I start from 11. So That's how we are going to do it. So it depends on the number of pages you want to have. So let me just reduce this to 5 for instance and say that's 5. So now the next thing that we want to do here now. So let me create another okay, let me have another type here. So let me call it scroll. So scroll, then we are going to be having ID, title, description, blah blah blah. So let me just have a okay. Let me just have all this and bring it down here. So inside scroll here, we remove all this. Alright, so going to remove all this ID. This one, let me see where we have this column. Then we should have the column followed by string. Alright, so we have everything almost ready. Let me try to comment out this first. Alright, of course this should be number. I think we're expecting number here. Alright, so now we can go back to our route. We have a scroll route here under, oh, it's Laravel route inside our scroll folder. So if I should open it, then go back to the browser to get the URL here. So then I will paste everything here. Alright, then if you look at it here, you can see that we are having data here. So here now we can actually have our data here dot data or data string. Have it here. We have photos dot data dot map. Then we have our ID. Then what we have is the title, description, region. We have title, but we haven't brought it, so we call it scroll. I guess. No, we haven't brought it. I think. Oh, we haven't imported our type. I think it's called a scroll. So where we have a photo hash here, we have a scroll. Let me just try to replace everything. So for let's have a scroll here. All right. So where we have this title, we have a description, we have price. What else do we have here? We have region, local cat name, so cat name. We have local. All right. So I think that's that. So let's go back to the browser and try to check everything now. So we have a scroll and Laravel. So you can see now. So let me. Oh, we are having type error. Previous photos is not attributable. So what is really happening here now? So let's try to. Oh, before that, I think here now the route, instead of having index here, we can actually say forward slash scroll forward slash Laravel then query string. So we have it that way. So let's go back again, try to see what is happening. So it's not working. So let's try to look at our browser and the console. So let's try to log some aspects. So why it's not working? So you can see here when we try to scroll the page, it returns what we are expecting. This is page 2, but it's not displaying the result. So if we should actually try to log our fetch data here, for instance. So let's try to log it. Let's say console.log fetcher there. So if we should try to run, you can see what the fetcher return. It has form. Of course, we are not working with form now. It has a renders. We don't need this. What we are actually interested in is in this loader and the data. This is to the state ID. We don't need all those aspects, but we need this loader and data. And of course, you can see now, if I should try to scroll the page, you can see we have this whole lot here. And if I click on the last one, our data, we have it here. It actually gives us what we are looking for, but it's not displaying in the browser. So what could be the problem? So you can see it gives us the links, almost the data, it returns the data. So if I should clean the console again and try to scroll, you see it returns some stuff for us. You can see the data page, current page 2, but we are not having it. And if you should go to VS Code, we are having it here, but it's not displaying. It's not returning the result. It's not displaying it in the browser. So what could be the problem? Well, as it turns out, we need to make use of optional chaining. So we have the result. You can see the current page, but we are not having the result. So let me try to get the real result from the fetcher. Let's say dot data now, so that we will be able to see everything clearly. So you can see it returns undefined. So if I scroll, you can see we have page 2, then we have data. So what we need to do now, we have to come here. If I say dot data again, you say cannot read properties of undefined reading data. So if I should just put a question mark here, then what do we have? So we actually have it. So you can see we are having the data being returned to us here. This is what we have here. So now, so let's try to get what we are looking for here. So instead of this, so we use a optional chaining here. We say put a optional chaining here, and here also we put a optional chaining. Then we have a dot, then optional chaining dot data. Then we have a dot data also, and optional chaining. So we have the same thing also here. Let me just grab this, and also here we just grab it. Right. So let's go back to the browser once again. Previous photo is not attributable. Alright. So let me grab this aspect now and try to have it here also. Alright. Right. So here also where is being merged here. So let me have a fetcher there also. Alright. So here also we should have dot data here. Sorry. Alright. So if I should try to scroll again, we have a previous photos is not attributable. Alright. Okay. So let's remove this first, the data, because of the data we are having from Laravel here. So this data. So I think okay, we are having map is not a function. So let me try to have it here. Alright. Okay, so you can see it's working now. So we got to the end because we have 25 rows here. So let's have, if we get to the end of the scroll, the last page, let's have a, okay, let's say have a length here. Sorry, I think it should be length. Okay. So if I should scroll again, we have 5, we have another 5, make it 20, then 14, we have another 5, then we have 0. So if it's equal to 0, then we should be able to say something like, so since we have it being tested here, since a vet could already have it for us, vet who could. So if we should have this, so it says it should return. Let's just log something. So if it gets there, we should say no, no more what data, more data. So I should go again, try to no more data. So you can see it. Let me try to comment out this aspect we are having here. It's one that is running. So if I should be scrolling, then no more data. You can see. So we don't have any data again. So it won't. So because we have the total number of rows we have there, I think let me turn this one. Then we should have a 25 also. I did 20, okay. Total, you can see, is 25. So that's it. So if you like the content I'm creating and you like to see more of it, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share the video. Thanks so much. See you in the next video.